Sports Timeout Podcast with Jensen Maydew, Tony Caranco, and your host, Wes Underwood.
And welcome into the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Jeffersons, free fried pickle Fridays, and also new wing flavors, citrus, hot, and honey last week. There's definitely more to check out there. Tony's had a few, but yeah, when you're done there, do what?
I've had a few, yeah, it's putting it lightly.
Hey, but you've had the new flavors is what I'm getting at here, so.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. Get done there, though. Go check out Robert's Integrative Dentistry in Joplin. If you're looking for that brighter, straighter smile, be sure to schedule your appointment today at 417-622-0404. And Wes Underwood, Clint's out this week, but we got Tony, Jensen, Jonah's out this week, and we got Caitlin Honeycutt coming back in here from Moso. And how are you guys doing?
Good.
Great. It's NBA Finals. We are doing great.
Next episode, don't wear a Celtic shirt or jersey, or were they winning before you put that on or after?
I've had this on all day, thank you.
Oh, all day? Okay. That
Yes.
explains the third quarter.
Yeah. We're not talking about the third quarter, though.
Yeah, they finished it out. They'll finish it out. They got it. They'll get it. But all right. And before we go ahead and get started, make sure to hit that subscribe and follow button on YouTube. And go ahead and start things off there in the NBA Finals. And man, it's going to be a fun series to watch. I mean, we mentioned that third quarter in the game, and Mavs Celtics kicked it off last night. What are your all's thoughts on this series, and who wins, and in how many games? Jensen, we'll start you.
Well, obviously, I'm going with Celtics winning.
You changed.
I think that they'll win in 6. I don't think it'll go 7.
Okay.
I think it'll be 6 Celtics.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Caitlin?
I gotta go Mavs in 7. Sorry.
Okay.
Not a big Celtics fan. I'm a Luka fan though.
Yeah.
He'll take over.
I mean, he tried to last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'd probably agree with Caitlin here. I'm going Mavs in 7.
So I'm going Mavs in 7 too. What do we give Jensen if she wins this one? Tony, you're the better here.
No.
Do we go get Celtic shirts after this?
If Jensen buys them, yeah, I'll go get it.
Or just donates it?
Yeah.
Literally.
You got a 3X laying around, you can feel free to donate it.
Yeah, that's my size, actually.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You said it.
I'm sure she's got a flag in that room she could turn into a shirt or something.
Flag.
So that's what I would do. I mean, I got all this Chief stuff. I'd take it and sew it together for you.
You know how to sew?
It's been a while, but I mean, it's like riding a bike,
you should
right?
do that. Well, that way I have something to wipe with.
Well, I mean, I do have a 3X Chiefs jersey because it was on sale. So, and I'm looking at it right now. Jeremy Macklin, in fact.
Who?
So, Jeremy Macklin, former Mizzou Eagle, Chief, I think Raven for a little bit. We'll go down there. But, all right. Those are our thoughts there on the series. Hopefully a 7-game series, not a 6-game series. Either way, I see it going 7, but I do think the Mavs pull it out in Game 7. They come from behind to do it. But continuing in the NBA, we'll talk Lakers' pursuit of a coach, and they're preparing to make a massive offer, or have already done so, apparently, as of last night. UConn's coach, Dan Hurley. Lots of rumors, though, of who's the next Lakers coach in line. I've seen Rondo. I've seen J.J. Redick, and now Hurley. A couple of other ones that haven't been confirmed, so I'm not even going to mention those because, I mean, yeah. But those are the top 3 that everybody's wanting. Who do you guys see going to the Lakers. And do you think they'll be able to put up with LeBron, or do you think they'll let LeBron be in charge? I don't know. Who do you think the best fit would be, though? Anybody can go here.
I think that if we are thinking in terms of like who would be the best fit for like if LeBron is there, then I would say Rondo.
Okay.
But if we're thinking without LeBron, I don't necessarily think that Rondo was like the first pick. So
Fair enough. Tony?
anybody else?
I am too ignorant on the situation to give a educated response.
Huh?
However, I will say that I think if they get rid of LeBron, they'll probably end up doing better.
Could be. Could very well be. Any thoughts there, Caitlin?
Oh, well, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a LeBron hater. So yeah, I think the Lakers would be better off without LeBron in general, but I think Hurley would be a good fit. You know,
Yeah.
word on the street is he's flying out there tomorrow.
Well, touche. You got the word on the street. I mean, you're out there right now. You gonna go catch him?
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know. We'll see. I'll go Hurley too. I mean, it's the best option, but as the rumor mills have come about, they kind of lead Hurley to the situation of what happened between Coach K and the Lakers back in the day, where they had a big offer for him. He flew out there and then just kind of ghosted him. So we'll see, because he's in the exact same situation. So we'll see how that ends up. Lastly, in the NBA, we'll talk the series Clipped on Hulu, new series that came out, well, Wednesday. I mean, have you all got to see it yet?
I haven't watched it.
No?
I haven't watched it either.
Man, it opens up the eyes. It's definitely like a lot of stuff that I didn't know was going on back then, even though it was all over ESPN, the social media at the time, and just everything that was going on then, just really rough. But I'm not going to spoil it, but you guys should definitely check it out. Maybe have a little bit of a conversation next week. I think first 2 episodes are out now. There's a lot to unpack in just the first 2 episodes. Like it's pretty graphic within the first episode and like the first 20 minutes. And then just to hear the things that were said, and the list goes on about the series, but I'm kind of excited to watch it. It sounds bad, but I want to see how the whole situation unfolded and how they like, I don't know how they're going to portray it and show it, but I think it's going to be an interesting series, though. One of those ones that you're going to want to watch just to see how the whole thing went down. I mean, Clippers fans and Celtics fans there, Jensen, with Doc Rivers being in, I mean, he's like a front runner in the show and was there for the whole thing and kind of just paved way to the beginning of his career there with the Clippers before he departed. But, I mean, it's a lot that happened. But, yeah, highly recommended. Lots of language, so probably not for your kiddos. I mean, if you want them to, go ahead and let them. But, yeah. We'll go ahead and move on to the
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I mean, the NBA is as corrupt as it is. You know, it's not surprising that that kind of language went on and is probably going on.
Yeah.
You know, and that's probably just the tip of the iceberg of what's really going on behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that, you know, I'm not saying what he did was all right, but at the end of the day, the NBA has way bigger fish to fry. But it's a good start.
Well, and I asked Jensen and Kalen this. I don't know if you guys pay attention to the Lakers, but wasn't Jerry Buss, wasn't he in the same situation for saying some crude things about players and other things as well?
I feel like he was always doing something inappropriate.
Yeah. I mean, and I feel like that's just kind of the thing that's happened out in LA. Both of those owners did some pretty crappy things to their players and organizations. So
LA is just a cesspool in general, man. I mean, at the end of the day, that place is disgusting. It's ran by terrible politicians. and worst of all, it has NBA teams in there. So,
Yeah.
you know, you can't be surprised. You know, the whole city is corrupt. That whole organization is corrupt. Um, you know, burn the whole system down.
All right, on that, we'll go ahead and head into the WNBA, and we'll talk Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. And Clark, the victim in all this welcome to the league talk that's going on. I mean, look, I can say that things are just going to get worse and worse, but I mean, if this were in the NBA, it wouldn't be a story, to be honest. I mean, you saw what happened with Angel Reese after the whole debacle, and then she cussed out and got tossed out of a game. But you saw in the finals last night that one of the, I believe, Mavs players, after a play happened, he cussed at the refs, and the ref just shrugged it off. So I mean, a lot of people are just, I don't know, they're taking it too hard. Maybe UConn's coach Gino Ariama, he thinks that she's being targeted too. I mean, come on, just let it go, take its course. She talks big. She can back it up eventually. I think they'll lay off of her once she gets through the rookie stage. But I mean, every team's going to take their shot. Like we talked about a couple weeks ago, they've all watched her play in college.
They're just hating.
Huh?
They're just hating.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, do you have any thoughts, Jensen, Caitlin, on this? I mean, WNBA side, I've just gotten into it within the last maybe 4 years, but
Oh, I feel like I could talk for hours about this. So I'll go real quick. Do I think that Caitlin is getting rookie treatment like other rookies? Yes, but at the same time, I do think that some of them is she's being targeted because these other girls are jealous and they're petty, because she kind of became the face of the WNBA, you know, after breaking the NCAA scoring record and everything. And I think that she's struggling to meet the standards that all these people and fans have placed on her, which are unrealistic.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you have all these jealous girls out here that are, you know, just petty and mad that that's not them, when she's bringing everything to the league, people, money, everything for all of them. But
absolutely,
that's just kind of my thoughts.
They don't got a flat commercial no more, thanks to Caitlin. But instead of doing that, they should just give them more money. I mean, the amount of money they're spending on that, they could have given them all a pretty decent pay raise. But I mean, I guess it's better than, I mean, it's a win regardless, I guess, at the end of the day. I think that she's being, you know, from what I see, she's being targeted. I do think it's unfair. Like Caitlin said, she's bringing in all this money, all this viewership. You know, she's like the modern day Jackie Robinson almost, for the WNBA. I'm not saying that it's that deep, but I will say that she's being targeted like like he was in that situation and being mistreated. I mean, it's just egregious.
All eyes are on her. I hear you on that.
I will say, to touch on the Angel Reese situation, though, I do think that there is a dumb double standard when it comes to women's sports. I've noticed that, especially with like the majority of referees are male, but male referees, something about their ego, they just don't like to be talked to like that, like by a woman. And I'm not saying that anybody likes to be talked like that, period. But like to your credit, Wes, like you said that like in the men's, you know, they just shrug it off like it's nothing, you know.
Yeah.
I think they should do a better job of shrugging it off like it's nothing, because at the end of the day, they're adults, and maybe they are being stupid, maybe they are being idiots, you know, whatever it is that they're being called. You know, it's probably justified, you know, or not, you know, but at the end of the day, if you shrug it off, you know, in the men's league, they should be able to shrug it off in the women's league.
It's true. I mean, college basketball players here, and both of you, what do you guys think
About the double standard?
on the double standard? Yeah, on that issue.
Oh yeah, I could preach on that all day. Yeah, I just feel like women can't be aggressive, can't be rude, can't be loud. I just feel like we can't shit talk, like we can't do anything that men can do,
Yeah.
just because of like societal norms and stereotypes. So I totally think that. I also think though that like with the situation with the rookies right now, I agree with the double standard for sure. I totally believe in that. I also think though that like with the NBA finals being on and all of the viewership going to NBA right now,
Yeah.
I think that it is a great time for WNBA to put out drama like this to stay in the headlines.
Sure.
So I kind of also think it could be more blown up just for like a media sense because everybody's now is like all eyes on Caitlin Clark. So then like how do we keep her in the headlines? How do we keep the viewers coming back? So I
Yeah.
think there could be media played into it as well.
The,
Very
the,
well could
the,
be.
did that rookie treatment happen? And, again, I'm ignorant. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, I've never watched a WNBA game in my life. It's just from all clips I've seen. Does that rookie treatment happen every year? Is that pretty common?
I think it's common anywhere. Like
Yeah.
even like freshmen in college
Yeah.
coming to their first practice, you know? I think it happens in all sports. Like I'm sure it happens in football too. Like it's just like I don't
Yeah.
know. You come in like with like a not an ego necessarily, but just like I
It's
made it, I'm good, and then all of a sudden like you get met with people who are like, greater.
Yeah, I mean that didn't happen to me, but I can understand with some people that are like lesser athletes that could happen too. But um, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I did get into a fight my very first day of fall camp. I did win though, and this guy was a senior. I was very fortunate, but I got my ass chewed out by the coach like immediately afterwards.
Fair enough.
But I won.
I know that's all that matters.
Indeed. All right. Well, next up in the WNBA, out of Arlington, Texas, and Asia Wilson, she had 36 points, 12 rebounds, 6 steals to help the Las Vegas Aces beat the Dallas Wings 95-81 on Wednesday night. And she became the first player in the WNBA history to have at least 35 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 steals in a game. She's also the first with at least 35 points and 5 steals in multiple games. Wednesday's outing was her 10th career game with at least 30 points and 10 rebounds. And she became the 7th WNBA player with 10 or more such games, joining Tiana Charles, Brianna Stewart, Lauren Jackson, Candace Parker, Lisa Leslie, and Brittany Griner. And I mean, that's pretty incredible. But do you think that she's just hitting her peak where she's at?
I think yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that yes and no. I think that she obviously is great and I mean, come on, they put a statue of her out in front of South Carolina. Like that's
Yeah,
amazing. Like
true.
she's like earned that. I just think though that like experience matters and your teammates matter and who is on your team and who's supporting you. And so her being able to be in this huge role and her teammates just like playing different roles on the team to help like raise her up and like do what's best for the team, I
Yeah.
think is also helping. So I think like experience and like the team dynamic that they have at this point.
It's like Porzingis last night.
And
Okay.
So I see this is what I'm predicting. I'm predicting a rise in the quality of basketball being played in the WNBA due to Caitlin Clark. Just like how it used to be, people used to think that the 4 minute mile was impossible. And it took years and years and years before somebody finally got it. And then it took them like 3 weeks later, somebody else ran a 4 minute mile. And then there's like hundreds, if not thousands of people that run 4 minute miles nowadays. So I think that there's a new awakening in the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark. And I think people's levels are just naturally going to be more competitive. They're going to just, they're going to one up everybody. I think the fact that she's in the NBA, that she has so many accolades and she brings so much star power, is going to raise everybody else with her. And that's why I think it's so ridiculous for people to be hating on her. Whenever in reality, I think she's going to actually do a good thing for the sport. She may actually make me watch an WNBA game, so I think that's what we're going to be experiencing within the next 10 years is a lot of high quality basketball being played by these women,
Yep.
and getting the recognition it deserves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. And I think on Asia Wilson, she's been incredible. I mean, like Jensen said, she has the statue outside of South Carolina. She's been insane, with just how she plays and like the heart. And I think Caitlin Clark, brought a whole new generation of fans to the WNBA, and now they're getting to witness players like Asia Wilson, and it's just helping the WNBA thrive. But I agree with what Jensen said, being surrounded by those, like the players she has, like Kelsey Plum around her, and even like rookie Kate Martin.
Yeah.
Just, I think the players around you is super important, which is, like what Caitlin Clark doesn't have really on the Fever.
Yeah, don't get me started on that one. I mean, they've given her no backup to her things that have been happening, so that's a whole different.
Nobody has her back.
Yeah, it's weird. I've never seen that on a team before, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe like
hate
in
on her
fifth
too.
grade, but do what?
They probably hate on her too.
They
They
might.
will. I think they do if you listen to some of the interviews. Like, goodness.
What are they saying?
Well, they don't really they try to not say much like on the topic in general, but like they never they don't really back her up except for like one. Like for the most part, they're kind of just quiet, but nobody rushes to like her rescue, when she's getting targeted and everything. And I mean,
Yeah.
Right. I got you.
It is weird. It's a weird situation.
yeah. I don't think it's fair to her, but
Yeah, I agree. Next up, we'll briefly touch women's softball College World Series, and it wrapped up. And could you have asked for a better rivalry than the Red River Rivalry? I mean, Jensen, you probably could have, but hey, these are two teams you don't have to worry about in the Big 12 anymore, and it's their final farewell as they represented going out. Now they're going to the SEC. Do you think this makes good for the SEC, knowing that they're getting two teams like this on their side?
I mean, I feel like the SEC is already a big time conference in general. I feel like everybody knows the SEC. So yes and no. I feel like they already have an established conference. But I think it does great for the women's softball side.
Yeah. Anybody
Yeah.
else?
No, I mean, yeah, I do think it's not hurting it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Take on it.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Brief as I mentioned, and now we'll go over to the UFC and we'll talk Dustin Poirier and still deciding whether he will continue his MMA career following his 5th round submission loss there at the UFC 302. But I mean, given the list of injuries that he suffered and the lightweight championship fight, and I mean, it appears he'll be spending a decent amount of time on the mend with a broken nose pretty badly. Rib is broken, and then his ACL is partially torn, and he revealed that on X Wednesday, and chalking up his injuries to the fight life, and just more comments that came out of him, kind of leading towards him saying, hey, I might be done. But I mean, overall, do you guys feel like he is done?
No, yeah, probably. I mean, he may make a comeback for a fight or two, like a lot of fighters do, because fighters are really never done, but they always think they got one more in them, and he's a warrior for sure.
Yeah,
it was a good fight. I mean, he did end up pretty beat up, but he got his own licks on him as well. It was a pretty interesting fight, especially those last 2.5 rounds. He kind of picked it up a little bit and putting pressure on him, making Islam look very human.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of time before he gets beat, unless he retires like his old stablemate Khabib. But I think it's he's definitely getting beat. But he looked a lot more human this fight than he did any other fight.
Yeah, it was kind of weird to watch. Jensen, I mean, you got to watch it a little bit. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think he should be done, or do you think the athlete in him is just like, well, we'll give it another go?
I think that anybody that competes at that level is competitive, and I think that if someone talks enough trash or if there's enough money thrown at him in a few years, I think that he would fight again, like Tony was saying. But
McGregor.
it was
Yeah,
really, really cute whenever like his daughter came up and all of that. So I hope he just gets to enjoy that.
True. Yeah.
Caitlin, did you watch the fight?
Oh no, I'm not really my specialty.
It's fun.
She was in the corner yelling, "Go, go, go!"
As long as they both had fun, that's the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
None of that looked.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I was like, if you call getting chopped in half everywhere, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. And another thing to kind of elaborate a little bit, the UFC, there's not a whole lot of money for the fighters themselves.
No.
Like the UFC makes a bunch of money.
Yeah.
They just don't do a very good job at sharing it with everybody. And that's, I mean, I like Dana White and I like a lot of the things he stands for, but I do think that his fighters could use a little bit more of the money.
I do find it weird that he takes his top fighters out with him to like events like the roast where they were just sitting there just smiling awkwardly the whole time.
Right.
I think that's kind of weird that he taunts his possessions. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, yes and no, but
I mean, yeah, they make him money, but
they make him a lot of money, and plus they have a lot of star power. So like in that instance, he had Max Holloway, so anybody that knows anything about fighting knows who Max Holloway is. And same can be said about Sean O'Malley. Anybody that knows anything about fighting knows Sean O'Malley. Yeah. So, I mean, kind of, but at the same time, like maybe he just thought it would be a good time, for them to come out, and be a part of it.
Well, maybe they love Tom Brady too.
Right.
Never know. But next up, we'll head into the MLS, and news is going insane right now with the Ronaldo rumors. Last year we saw the Messi effect, and now we have the potential to see the Ronaldo effect in the U.S. as well. I mean, if this does happen, would American soccer change, or do you think it would pretty much stay where it's at?
Yeah, it's staying pretty much where it's at, I think.
Yeah.
The only reason
Messi's bringing pretty good crowds.
Sure. I mean, maybe. But I just don't see it being like an overnight thing, kind of like Caitlin Clark, is doing with the WNBA. But the MLS is a little bit more established, so I could be wrong. I don't know.
Your Suarez guy was correct. That is the man who bit people's ears off multiple times.
Yeah. Well, he gets hungry.
Yes.
Mid-match, he gets a little hungry, a little snack. But yeah, no. I mean, it may. I mean, I don't want to say like it won't bring more people.
Yeah.
I think that. I mean, that's the way you start out. You start bringing in these old retired, near retirement age guys that have some clout to them. Eventually, you can afford somebody who's actually good, and well, they're still good. I'm not saying
David
they weren't good.
Beckham doing the David Beckham.
Yeah, somebody a little bit younger though, like Mbappe or something like that.
Oh man, that would have been awesome, but he signed
Neymar.
somewhere else.
Right. Or any of those, guys that play like in Spain, those would be like the kind of guys that the MLS should be going for. I understand they can't afford them, but
Sure. They could if they put their. I mean, hey, do you guys want to play with this guy or
one-player teams?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what Messi is. Other than now that they, like I said last week, they've got Suarez, and him and Suarez with a little bit of defense behind them. I mean, they were the worst team in the MLS last year, and then all of a sudden, because of two people, they're like the best team. So
yeah,
understandable. Yeah. Go ahead and move over to the NWSL, and we'll talk the current. And Vlaco says that everyone that has started is coming back, and they'll be healthy, and they'll return home this week to face Seattle. And let me tell you, the rest of the season is going to be fun to watch, but also going to be a nightmare at that as well, because it's going to be fun for the fact that the team has talents that have been yet to be unrevealed, and everyone and everything is capable of having something happen there, like going to the championship again and doing all that stuff. But the nightmare, due to the fact that the league is out to get them now, they're currently in second place, but if they win against Seattle, they're going to be back up at the top of the bracket. And after watching the last few years of the NWSL, I mean, you get to the top of the bracket and everybody's like, all right, you're the team to go for. And I mean, that's in every sport. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, just being able to have all these world-class players come and getting to see Temwa Shawinga out there playing, like, holy moly, she is fantastic. And everybody was raving. Don't get me wrong, Dabinia is a good soccer player. Don't get me wrong. But she's out there playing way better than Dabinia, other than the fact that she's way younger. But it's awesome to watch. So getting all that together. Do what?
I said Dabinia.
Yeah, Dabinia. Dabinia is world-renowned. World Cup, all that jazz, Olympics. She's getting ready to go play for Brazil. Actually, there's quite a few players that are going to be leaving for the current that are going to be going to the Olympics. So, I mean, you got Sweden represented. We went over this list, but Brazil, Sweden, Canada, U.S., you name it. And they got a lot of players going, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And yeah. Lastly, we go ahead and close out with the U.S. women's national team as they continue their hot streak. They have not lost a match since March 3rd, and that includes the Gold Cup and the She Believes play as well. And then international friendlies versus Korea. They have outscored their opponents 17-5 in all those matches, and over South Korea, they have won the last two with a combined 7-0. So that's pretty awesome. That being said, I feel like this U.S. women's national team could win gold if they stay level-headed, play together. I mean, they've got Alex Morton, Mallory Swanson, Trinity Rodman, Sophie Smith, and so on. But, I mean, pretty talented group. But Olympics coming up. What do you all have here? Anything you're looking forward to for the Olympics? 39 days away, somewhere in there.
Is it the Summer Olympics already?
Oh, yeah. It's coming up, man.
Man, I felt like it just happened. But
No, that was the Winter Olympics 2 years ago. Because we had basketball and all that jazz, hockey.
Right.
The winter sports, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be fun then. World's best athletes, at least amateur athletes, going out there and competing.
And we've almost had a couple Joplin natives go. Track and field side.
Mm-hmm.
It's been pretty cool to watch.
Right. I think I'm gonna go to the Olympics when it comes here. If that counts.
You know, we need to go to the All-Star game. That's going to be fun. It's going to be in Arlington.
Yeah.
You're all invited.
What's it? What's it for?
And you're most not like sport, baseball.
It's not that I don't like it. I just don't watch it. I don't watch sports in general. Like the sports that I watch is like fighting and like.
I'll take you to the celebrity game. How about that?
Yeah, probably not. I got a lot of stuff going on that weekend.
So since you don't like baseball, I'll pay you $10 to run across the field with your shirt off.
I need a lot more than that, but $10 is a start.
$10. Viewers, what do you think? How about some likes and all that jazz?
We need to get a GoFundMe. And then...
Hey, I mean, you saw that guy bet on himself. I think was it the Super Bowl? Yeah. That guy bet on himself and he ended up winning his bet, and that's what paid his bail and gave him some extra cash.
It's a lot more than some extra cash, but yeah. I think he retired.
Probably. I think he did actually, yeah. It was somewhere in the $2 to $3 million range. It's pretty funny. But all right, well, we'll go ahead and head into the local sports update brought to you by Trackside Burgers. They're open at 1515 West 10th Street. Go get one of Chef Mike's specialties. And, well, high school sports are over for now. So it's kind of a bummer, but football's next. I mean, everything's rotation through. So we'll be coming back in July, end of July here with some camp updates and things that are going to be happening. Well, we'll go ahead and head into the 2-minute warning on that, brought to you by Ghetto Tacos. On Fridays, get 10% off burritos all day long. And they close at 5 p.m., though. That's the only bummer for Friday. It's located at 536 North East Street, Webb City. And, yeah, they got the drive-thru available. Go ahead and call ahead at 417-717-1261. And you can go by tomorrow as well from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And if you're going to the Springfield area, they got a lot this week going on. So got to read it off, though. If you're going to the Springfield area this week in Missouri, not anywhere else, you can catch them at the food truck rally from 11 to 7 p.m. as well. So, but all we got is Outlaws baseball in this one. They take on the Timber Hogs the rest of the weekend at Joe Becker. Both games today and tomorrow are at 7:05 starts, and then Sundays at 6:05. So, and well, music is here, so it's the end of another episode. For Tony, Jensen, Clint, Jonah, Caitlin, and myself, have a great and safe rest of your weekend. If you're going to Hot Stone this weekend, or before they close, we're losing them on July 4th for good, so make sure to go send them out with a bang and help them out there. And yeah, this week's special, the green out, white sauce, mozzarella, spinach, green peppers, pineapple. I don't even know how to pronounce that one. Balsamic glaze and feta and fresh basil. Go try it out. Go try it out. I stick with the chicken bacon ranch, but you guys doing anything fun? I mean, Caitlin, you're in California. You're down in Texas there, Jensen. Tony and I are stuck here, so.
Still just as fun.
You got the beach in your backyard, man?
Something like that. It floods a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, there is rain in the forecast. Darn.
Yeah. I need to get a French drain built.
Yeah. Those things are fun to put in.
I don't know. I just hire some Mexicans to do it.
Yeah, well, all right. Fair enough.
Mexicans.
All right. You do you, man. You do you. Anyone else doing anything fun before we go?
Nope, I'm working at the hospital.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you have it. End of another episode. We'll see y'all next week on the Sports Timeout. Take care.